microphone on. Engage. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Caroline. We go way back, so she knows all of the shenanigans and how we get into a lot of different things. Like Inga, we've been doing this a very long time. We go back to 2016, and I've always been a view master and 3D anything fanatic. And so when VR came around as something that was a little more commercially viable in that time of 2016, 2017, a lot of us thought this is right around the corner. We're so there, it's just got to get this thing to be mobile and we're good to go. And you could see where we're at. So a lot of us started doing a lot of VR training stuff, started developing applications in gaming that for us are our own fun stuff. Space Dragon was one of our first apps, but really the first thing that we did was just start experimenting with mechanics. Let's just start figuring out how this stuff works. Let's rip it apart, put it back together, systematize it, figure out a way to make it easier to use for us, just for us. And that led to deploying the movement system for the Vive and the Oculus original Rift series, which all kind of works the same way for the most part. And so this was way, way back in the day, and it had all these different movement systems in it, and it still does. So there's cards in there with like, how's the comfort level? What does it feel like? What does it do? How do you configure it? And if you're trying out something and you're just like, ooh, I don't know about this, had this movement system, I'm using the stick and people don't like it, and maybe this doesn't feel right for my app, just like 2 clicks and you're flying and you're using a different movement system. So really, really helpful in prototyping, experimenting, and then of course it is real code. So it can go carry all the way through the entire project to production. So that was kind of our early parts of where we ended up today with GrowKit Core, was experimenting around movement systems and figuring out how these things work and finding ways to make them better, use object-oriented design to make rock solid, fun stuff that we could just switch around quickly and experiment with, which led to things like Space Dragon, because flying is fun in VR. Why would I want to use my legs if I can fly? So we got really into flight systems and flight games. Space Dragon was a very cutting edge game at the time. You're flying through the stars, you're blowing up planets. You were actually on a mission to save the universe from the evil AI. This was 2017. Little foreshadowing for the world there. So it's a really fun game. It's still available today. We're expanding it. It's actually got mixed reality components in now, so you can like fly through the planets in your living room, which is kind of surreal. And then we've evolved to many other apps. We've done a ton of work in medical and manufacturing, and you name it, we've done it. That space of building cool stuff for other people, with other people, for ourselves, all of these have led to us continuously trying to build a better production pipeline, easier ways to build things, ways to systematize, ways to onboard people on our team faster. Many of you probably have heard of things like, like a surgical team. And a surgical team works because everybody already knows what to do. They could go in and work together. Yeah, they also do practice together, but for the most part, if that's your job on the team, that could be your job on the team with any team. And we're trying to solve a lot of these, getting more people developing in VR, uh, just getting it to be easier for you to start. Right now, you have to learn so much stuff. You have to learn all about AI. You have to learn how to do an LLM. You have to learn, the movement stuff. You have to learn how to do touch, interact, and grab, and then spatial stuff and the UI. And it just goes on. 3D, avatars. It's an endless list of stuff that people have to know to be able to build a cool spatial computing app. If we can reduce that burden and we can get you started with like, listen, we got the mechanics, you got the basics down, you know basically what you want. Now you could get it going. Now you could focus on the polish. Now you could focus on making it really high quality. So this is where we've landed with 3 Pound XR, is we continue to do 3 Pound games with cutting edge games with Grocket, and Grocket is the game that we use in dog food, all of the core systems and libraries in GrowKit Core. So we try out something new because Meta has just SDK and we're like, ooh, what's this cool feature? We go figure it out. We put it in our core systems and libraries, and we use it in our own products first before we say, hey, everybody, this is ready for prime time. So let me give you the quick video about Brook at Core. You want to click that? I think it's the next slide. Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's an overview of the studio. Who can be sure? This video is much more fun with the music because it's all cut to the music. But that's okay. So what you can see here is the key points of what we're doing is we're giving you
We're
that
giving
low.
you that
Oh,
low.
there we go. Oh, there we go. So basically,
So
we're giving you
we're
the.
giving.
Oh, I'm getting a lot of echo, you guys. Okay, thank you. We're giving you the ease of low code solution with click and configure components, stuff that we've already built a million times over and used in our own applications. Here you go. You can configure it the way that you need it configured. Click, click, click. And then you got your basics stood up. Now, if you go back and you're like, oh, I need it to be, I need to extend this, I need to make this more complex, or I need to build this out a little further, you have the source code. You can go in and modify it, you can extend it. You can be part of the community if it's a feature that you think that other people in the community would also be interested in. You could ask us about it. Maybe we'll add it to the library as well. So it's just this endless list of incredible tools that people could build anything they want really, really fast.
Hey,
If you think
Robin.
about, mhm,
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to
okay,
just have you wrap up only because I want to ask you at least a question or two here. So go right ahead.
okay, okay. So our goal here is to just get people being able to build stuff faster and focus on what you're good at. If you're a subject matter expert and you know your industry, you know what you want to build, but you don't know Unity, you don't know AI, you don't know all these other pieces, like 3D modeling, Blender, and all that. You don't know any of that stuff. How are you going to get from zero to a spatial computing company? And this is our solution: is to get you on that path and to get you accelerated so that you can be successful and leverage all the power and all the knowledge that you have, and not have all the burden of knowing all these other things that you have to do in order to build a spatial computing app.
Thank you. That's awesome. I actually, it leads to my first question, which is you've been really kind of innovative in your work with hand tracking and mixed reality. And tell me really, how do you think, how do those technologies change the way you design and prototype things?
Yeah, it's fundamentally different and amazing too. When you talk about mixed reality in the classic sense of it's not just pass through, it's truly mixed. Like this furniture is here, seeing, understanding, and then you add hand tracking to that. Now we're getting one more step closer to the dream that we're all trying to get to, which is spatial computing should be a complete extension of my body, not me pushing buttons and pretending like all that. It should just be like how I go and touch this lamp over here. Yes, I still have to push a button, but it feels right. It feels natural, and I'm not craning over things. So when you have hand tracking and you're physically grabbing things, you're physically feeling it, you feel more natural. It's easier for people to be onboarded. The negative side is you get stuff like, grab this cup, and this is a virtual cup, person goes to grab it, they're not, they're going to go like this, so their hand's going to close. Well, that's not what happens in real life, right? So you get a couple of those funny moments like that. We've done a lot of research in like how to make things feel like you have haptics. For example, in our game Grocket, you'll sometimes feel like you're getting haptics when you're getting shots. And that's simply because the spatial audio is designed in such a way that I'm really trying to tap into the vibration of what you would feel had that had happened to you, which then it correlates to the somatosensory cortex in your brain that uses the same pathways, and the same neural pathways are used whether you're taking your hand and sort of rubbing it along something and you're feeling the vibration, or you heard it and you sort of think you felt the vibration because you heard that. So
Right.
we're all doing using a lot of tricks to kind of bring it all home for you and make it feel more natural. But it does affect design tremendously, and it helps a lot with onboarding because people are not afraid to put the headset on if they can see out, if they can put their hands on this table because that's really the table, even though you might have turned it into a treasure chest, but it's really physically there, and you're now interacting with an object. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do, and then you have to think about accessibility because now you're creating in spatial computing and you're being more natural about the way that you're designing and physical space. Make sure that you give people a way to get to like a quick menu or a quick way to access things so that if they're not going to go up and go to the wall over there and smack the wall because the little creature came out of it, they need another way to do things. So it
Yeah.
creates a lot of extra complexity, but there's also a lot of great opportunity.